Welcome back to my channel. Today we're checking out more Pirate Warriors 4. Gonna be continuing on checking out the DLC characters and gonna be playing some Rayleigh today. He's actually a character I was really excited going into, and I was pretty happy with how he turned out, and his playstyle is really fun. I also got text up to showcase his moves around this time. So starting with a smash attack, which is actually somewhat integral to his moveset, because he is a technique character, and when you do either a charged attack or just a normal triangle attack, it will like mark the enemies, and then if you do another one, it will like suck all of the marked enemies up into your radius. So it kind of like brings enemies into your attack reach. It's kind of a gimmick. I hadn't seen too much use out of it so far, but his actual combos are really useful, and I like technique characters because you can extend their full force burst for quite a bit longer. Also, another thing to mention about his moveset, his base, square, square, triangle, like the one on the ground, not that version, it has a guard break built into it, and it goes out really fast and is really easy to get the guard break off. You'll see on my gameplay that I use it quite a lot to just break their guards and get the bosses down and open for combos. Now moving on to his super attacks, I actually like quite a bit what they did with him, because they gave him some of the stuff that showed up in the show, and also he just has a lot of like unique things. Like that one, he does a Conqueror's Hockey burst and then he flicks out bullets, which looks really cool. And then he has one of those attacks where it's like a big AoE. And then this one is really cool actually. He dodges cannonballs and then does a slash forward. And those cannonballs count, like you can damage enemies with them. And then that is basically a Conqueror's Hockey. It's called something else, but it works the same as Conqueror's Hockey. He also has a counter, which seems to be really good because it breaks guards on the activation, and overall just seemed really easy to use. I didn't put it in the moveset I used this time because I did more of the high damaging skills, just so he could hopefully get through the map in not too long of a time and manage to get an S rank. But I think he's definitely a really good character. I don't know exactly how OP he would be yet, but I do like his moveset a lot, and he feels fun to play. And like that move there looks so sick. You can get I have like nothing for skills like for damage up or anything. I have the one that gives me longer full force burst, and then stuff to get coins and money and stuff, so I can finish grinding out the characters. So he doesn't have a ton of damage things equipped or anything like that, and he's still doing pretty good output of damage. And then there's that guard break move. It's the second attack in it, so you can get it off really fast and keep guards broken pretty much the entire time, I found anyways. Didn't want to die there. But so far, I'm really loving this pack. I've played Roger so far, and then I've played Rayleigh now. But I haven't yet played Garp, which is a character I actually was looking forward to quite a bit, especially after going back and playing Pirate Warriors 3 with Garp. He was really fun, although he's going to be, I think, a very different character than his like Pirate Warriors 3 counterpart. So that'll be exciting to see how they do him. But I was happy with Rayleigh. They did like quite a lot of references to like the flashback arc that he was in Wano, and like that guard break move that I was talking about, where it says two squares into triangles. That move is actually like when he stops Marco flying at him. He does like the finger out type of like move, and it breaks their guard. So that's a cool reference. And like he has his one line is a reference to when he draws the line in the sand from Sabaody. So he does have stuff that like existed after he was older and still got it included. And like his Conqueror's Hockey move, I think it's on my circle right there, is a reference to when he activates Conqueror's Hockey, and like one of the first times we see it properly in like the auction house in Sabaody. So it's a really cool references for his moves, and also like the more game original aspects of it are pretty fun too. Like I think he has a lot of good style to his character, pretty decent AoE on some of his moves, and just a lot of like visually appealing moves. Plus his gimmick as a technique character is actually pretty interesting. I've used it once here. I brought some enemies back to me. I think I need to get a better hang of it before I am actively good at using it. But I think Rayleigh will be a character I play more often than not when I come back to Pirate Warriors 4 now. Because he's just fun, and he's a character I actually really liked in the show, so it's always cool when a character like that gets appreciation in a game finally. I know technically in like the mobile games there's already a playable Rayleigh and whatnot, but it's just cool to see in a console game, because I feel like for character-wise console games and like more like bigger games and not like mobile gacha games or stuff like that, have a less likely for a ton of characters to get covered. Because even like in Xenoverse, for example, it covers like so many characters. There's still a lot of characters that aren't in it, and like forms that aren't in it. So it's always nice when a game gets like a ton of other characters actually put into a game. Although I think Pirate Warriors 4 definitely still needs a decent amount still added in the game, either from previous games or just like smaller characters that didn't get covered in the story mode, so they didn't get put into the game. And that's always a shame. Like, it took us forever to have a playable Kobe, so... And that's someone who has like essentially a moveset built out for him already, because we know he has like the 6 powers and like observation hockey and armament hockey. So like we know he has stuff like that, and he just was never playable in the game. He was always like an assist character or someone that went around the map. I'll be really interested to see in a couple years what like the first big game that includes like Egghead Island, what they're gonna do, because it includes so many new characters. It's honestly kind of ridiculous that the amount of new characters we've gotten, because we got all the Seraphim, all the Vegapunks, which most of them aren't fighters or anything, so they would never really be included. But then we have all the Gorosei and all their forms. We have the Giants. There's just so much. It's also, I was thinking about this earlier, it's sad that we don't have any Giants playable in any of the games, at least to my knowledge. It would be somewhat difficult, but at the same time they put Whitebeard in the game, and he's ginormous as well. And like there's the Kaido dragon forms, which are giant, and Big Mom is also basically giant sized. So it'd be cool if we had like actual playable giants. I also don't really see much more DLC coming to Pirate Warriors 4. I imagine they mostly did it to get like stuff like Gear 5th out and playable. But it was been so long since this got DLC though, so you never know. They could always announce another packs or something in the future. Because there's still characters, and a lot of characters people still want playable. Especially like with Wano, I know a lot of people were mad that some characters didn't get chosen for the DLC. Like I know a lot of people wanted King, Queen, like Jack, Ulti, Page 1. There was just a lot of stuff going on in Wano, and we still don't have a bunch of that covered. And then I'm sure in a couple months after we've had Lucci going on, like I'm sure that people would want a new version of him. And like we still don't have like even like a Kaku in the game. There's just so many characters that we could still have. Like Jabra isn't playable, for example. Like there's a lot of non-playable characters that are sitting in the game too, that just don't have a moveset that's usable, which is kind of sad, because there would be no real downside to having them in the game. Besides, I guess they maybe wouldn't be as like properly designed if they were just kind of rushed out for characters. But there's so much still available in this game, but I'm just happy it is getting more content, and it gives me kind of like a reason to talk about One Piece and kind of play games on my channel. Especially like this coming back was actually like a big positive on my channel, and gave me like something to upload more consistently with the DLCs coming out and whatnot. It's like newer content, which is something that's not really something that goes on my channel. I guess I do like the raids and whatnot for Xenoverse, but that's not really new content, really. So whenever a game I like gets updates or DLCs or anything, it's actually a plus, because I don't often buy new games that much. Although I do have One Piece Odyssey sitting there to be played. I have the Made in Abyss game, Berserk game, and just a bunch of shit that's just sitting there to be played. But it's hard to start up a series when you, because if I start up a series or a game, I want to properly finish it and complete it. I don't want to just be sitting there with like 1 or 2 videos on my channel from the game. Like, I know I was planning on doing some Ninja Storm stuff. It's just with the connections coming out and people complaining about that, so I was going back to Ninja Storm 4. And I think I only did 1 or 2 videos on that. But in that case, I was just covering a game and I wasn't doing a story mode or anything. If I do something like that, it'll be like on the top of my focus for the upcoming weeks, months. It won't be out of my head until I actually complete it. Like going on my Injustice playthrough, I'm trying to get that out because I know a lot of people aren't watching it, but I still want to finish it because I personally hate when YouTubers I watch start a series or something and completely drop it, and then you are like looking in their playlist and you start watching something where you find them through a game and then they just never finish it. So that's always a shame, and I try not to do that and kind of keep focus on whatever I'm doing at the time. Like, I want to maybe do Injustice 2 as a playthrough, but I'll definitely save that for a little while I focus on other things, which I assume will probably be One Piece Odyssey. I still haven't really checked how recording that will work, because I know anime games can be really annoying for recording with the PlayStation 4 and not actually using a capture card, which is more my fault of anything. I really should get a capture card, because I do have a computer I could edit on, and it would be way more efficient than actually trying to record on the PlayStation. When I was setting up the combos for this video, I tried to actually add them on screen, and that was super annoying to do, but it is worth it because it looks much better and is better than me just speaking it out and mumbling along all the combos. But other than that, that'll be pretty much it for this video. Really enjoying Rayleigh, enjoying this DLC, but I will catch you guys all later. And peace!